Why are people already pre-ordering iPhone 17 cases months before the phone is even released? The iPhone 17 isn't expected until September 2025, but some users are already buying cases for it. That's right. Even before Apple announces the phone, its accessories are being sold online. And what's more surprising is that these cases might actually give us a clear idea of what the new iPhones will look and feel like. This all started with an industry insider who previously leaked accurate CAD files and 3D printed models of upcoming Apple phones. Now they're offering phone cases based on the same 3D data. If you're curious, you can even message them directly on X, formerly Twitter, to request one. But these aren't just ordinary cases. The insider's designs appear to match perfectly, with 3D dummy units of the iPhone 17 family. So, when someone fits a dummy model into the case, it snaps in as if it were the real phone. That gives early users a pretty good feel for Apple's upcoming devices, even though the actual phones haven't been shown yet. Let's talk about design. The iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max seem to have a massive camera island on the back, still keeping the familiar triple lens setup, but with a slightly wider layout. It's likely Apple is planning a camera upgrade, and that larger housing might point to improved sensors. The iPhone 17 Air, which is said to be a thinner version of the phone, shows a smaller but still noticeable camera area. The shape reminds some people of what we've seen in Google's Pixel 9 leaks. On the other hand, the base iPhone 17's design looks different, and not in a good way, according to early reactions. The cutout for the camera appears awkward, and it's making some users question Apple's choices for the standard model. Interestingly, people in China are already going to stores where they can try out iPhone 17 dummies with these cases. Even though they're just plastic shells with no real hardware inside, users can feel how the phones will rest in the hand, fit in pockets, and compare weights across models. For some, that hands-on preview is more exciting than watching rumors online. But let's be honest, pre-ordering a case before buying the actual phone sounds risky. What if you end up buying a different model? Or Apple changes something last minute? Still, this kind of early move shows just how much excitement builds before an iPhone launch. We've seen this before. When Samsung's One UI 7 was leaked ahead of time, people were downloading unfinished apps just to get an early taste. Apple fans are no different when it comes to staying ahead of the curve. These iPhone 17 cases have also sparked other leaks. Some accessory brands have accidentally confirmed the design by listing cases for sale early on their websites. While Apple stays silent, these small mistakes by third parties are painting a clearer picture. Are iPhone prices about to go up again? And will Apple tell us the real reason why? Leaks are pointing toward a possible price increase for the iPhone 17 series. And while the official explanation might focus on new features or a fresh design, the real reason might have more to do with politics than technology. According to a new report, Apple is seriously considering raising the prices of its upcoming iPhones. This would affect the whole iPhone 17 lineup, which is expected to launch in September. So far, we haven't heard any official confirmation, but sources close to the supply chain say this move is on the table, and Apple is trying to avoid one word: tariffs. Right now, tariffs between the US and China are creating major challenges. For tech companies, even though there's been a pause in the broader trade war, it doesn't apply to everything. Smartphones are still under a 20% tariff, and that could get worse. An earlier tariff rate was as high as 125%, but for now, it's temporarily dropped to 10% on some electronics. So, where does Apple fit into this? Apple has been trying to avoid price hikes by cutting costs with suppliers, but according to the report, there's not much room left to save. That means raising iPhone prices might be Apple's least bad option to stay profitable, especially as production costs climb. Here's the catch. Apple doesn't want to blame the tariffs. Instead, it may point to new features or the redesigned look of the iPhone 17 series as the reason for the higher prices. If rumors are true, we could see some major changes this year, including a super thin iPhone 17 Air, expected to replace the current Plus model. So far, the current prices look like this. iPhone 16 starts at $799 US. iPhone 16 Plus starts at $899 US. iPhone 16 Pro starts at $999 US. iPhone 16 Pro Max starts at $1199 US. We don't yet know how much more the iPhone 17 models will cost, but if Apple does raise the prices, it'll probably try to tie it to the new design or performance upgrades. One big factor behind the scenes is where these phones are being made. Most iPhones are still assembled in China, especially the Pro and Pro Max models. Apple has been slowly shifting production to India, but the report says that India's factories still don't have the scale or technical setup needed to mass-produce high-end models like the Pro Max. For now, it seems that Chinese factories will still handle most of the Pro and Pro Max production, even though tariffs make that more expensive. Shifting large-scale production to India or Vietnam could take years. So until then, Apple is stuck with rising costs and limited options. One investment bank, Jefferies, estimates that around 65 million iPhones were sold in the US last year, and over 36 million of those were Pro or Pro Max models. Can a super slim phone still offer top-level performance without sacrificing battery life? That's exactly the question people are asking about the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge, even before it's been officially launched. In a surprising twist, the phone just went up for pre-order in the UK through a major retailer, Argos, and now we have almost every detail ahead of Samsung's big announcement. The Galaxy S25 Edge has been talked about for months, but now, thanks to this early listing, we know exactly what it brings. Let's go through the confirmed details first. It features a 6.7-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X display with a sharp resolution of 3120 by 1440 pixels. That's top-tier quality for watching videos, gaming, or just scrolling through social media. The phone runs Android 15 with Samsung's One UI 7 software and uses the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite processor made for Galaxy phones. It comes with 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage, though we expect a 512 GB version too. There's no 1 terabyte option, at least for now. What really stands out, though, is the design. At just 5.8 millimeters thick and weighing 162 grams, it's one of the slimmest phones we've ever seen. But this thin build doesn't mean it's fragile. The phone has a titanium frame, just like the Galaxy S25 Ultra, and it includes new Gorilla Glass Ceramic 2 for extra protection. That means it can handle daily wear and tear and even survive the occasional drop. The camera setup includes a 200-megapixel main sensor and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide lens. The front-facing camera is also 12 megapixels. Now, while a 200-megapixel camera sounds amazing, and it probably is, it's a little disappointing that there are only 2 lenses on the back. Most premium phones today offer 3 or 4 lenses to give users more options like zoom or depth sensing. Another area that has people talking is the battery. It's a 3,900 mAh battery, which seems small for a phone with such a large and sharp screen. Combine that with the power-hungry Snapdragon chip, and we're not sure how long the battery will last in real-world use. Fast charging is included, but only at 25 watts, which is a bit slow compared to some of its rivals. So, what about the price? In the UK, Argos listed the phone at $1,099. That's about $1,460 in direct conversion. But don't worry, that's not how pricing works between regions. Experts believe the Galaxy S25 Edge will be priced at around $1,140 in the US for the 256GB version. The 512GB model could cost close to $1,269. It's not cheap by any means, and it's sitting between the Galaxy S25 Plus and the Galaxy S25 Ultra in terms of both features and price. That brings us to the bigger question.